WMS COVID Report by James Mooney and Ron Patel.
Hi, my name is James Mooney.
Hello, my name is Ron Patel, and I am a student at WMS. Together, James and I have made a special report on how the COVID pandemic has affected the lifestyle of learning and teaching for students and teachers at WMS.
Our first question was, how has hybrid schooling affected your learning?
How do you think hybrid schooling has affected your learning?
Oh, well, for me, hybrid school is better than online, so my grades are going up.
How do you think hybrid schooling has affected your learning?
I think it helps more than just the online because you can come into school and ask for help from the teacher in person.
How do you think hybrid schooling has affected your learning?
It's definitely harder to reach out to teachers and ask questions and about what we're learning and the lesson.
Our second question was, how do you feel about hybrid schooling?
How do you feel about hybrid schooling, such as opinions, thoughts, or suggestions?
I feel that hybrid schooling is better than online. It has helped me learn more than online classes. And yeah, I enjoy it more.
Alright, sweet. How do you feel about hybrid schooling, such as opinions, thoughts, or suggestions?
I think that, the only thing that I could complain about the hybrid is that I have to get up early in the mornings on the days we go in.
Alright. How do you feel about hybrid schooling, such as any opinions, thoughts, suggestions, or likes or dislikes?
I definitely think hybrid schooling is more of a challenge for everyone, but I guess I'm up to the challenge.
Our second question was, how do you manage to get all your schoolwork done throughout the school day?
How do you manage to get all of your work done during school?
Oh, well, I do homework every day after school. Sometimes I have trouble because I get distracted and stuff. And that's it.
How do you manage to get all of your work done throughout the school day?
I do whatever work is due the soonest and sometimes what's the easiest work to do.
How do you find the time to complete all of your work, either when you're in school or at home?
I try to put everything after work. I like video games, for instance. I try to do that after my work. Playing with my dog outside, try to finish my work first and everything like that.
As we move on to the teacher portion of the video, we now interview Ms Turnbull, who was asked a series of questions on how and what she thought about the COVID guidelines and what she had adjusted in her teaching ways to follow these guidelines.
How do you get your students to engage in your lessons while following the COVID guidelines?
Well, while students are at home, they're online on Google Meet, and they can contribute by talking out loud or just typing in their answers in the Google chat. I'm also always on GoGuardian, just making sure everyone is doing the right thing on the right screens, and I can talk to them there. And of course, in class, I can talk to my students, when everyone's all together.
What are some changes you have made to your ways of teaching due to the hybrid learning schedule?
Well, everything that I do is virtual now, and so I've had to change everything that was on paper to be everything now completely accessible on the computer. So that's been challenging, but it's good to have.
How do you feel about virtual teaching and the hybrid schedule?
I think that it's really hard for a lot of people, but I think that for some people it's going really well, and I think that people are showing different strengths that we wouldn't have known that they had. So it's definitely a different way to do school and to teach. So, it's just different, and we're all adapting.
After interviewing Ms Turnbull, we decided to get one more teacher perspective to sum it all up, and that teacher that we chose was Mr. Manning.
How do you get your students to engage while teaching through a screen?
So to get my students to engage through a screen, I first start by making sure they're on camera so that we can actually see one another face to face. And then I think the other way to keep everybody engaged is, while I look for people to raise their hand through the Google Meet and offer answers, I also randomly call on people. This way they know that there's always a chance that I'm gonna look to interact with them, and I think that helps keep them engaged and helps keep them paying attention to what we're doing.
What are some changes you have made because of the hybrid learning schedule?
So I think the biggest change I've made is how much I'm teaching, because we're now dealing with hour-long periods instead of our usual 45-minute periods. And then the other thing that I've changed is that I'm posting everything online. I'm creating more videos so that the students have the video to refer to at home or in school, so that they can do the work more independently and not totally rely on just me. But I think the biggest change is the posting of everything online, having to make everything digital. I'm doing a lot less paper, which good thing for the environment. I'm not making as many copies. And then adjusting for the longer length in the periods.
How do you feel about the virtual teaching or the hybrid schedule? Any things that you like or dislike?
I think I like the extra time with the students. We're able to cover more material. I've liked creating new videos and finding new ways to reach the students in person and at home. But I do think overall, my biggest dislike is the lack of continuity and not seeing everybody every day and getting to have that real rapport with them and constantly going back and forth to in-person or remote. Overall, I really prefer the in-person and seeing the students every day.
So overall, we had gained a total perspective on how COVID had affected our education process and how we reacted to it as students and teachers at WMS.